Good evening, and welcome to the Intersectionality of Racial Equity and Mental Health, facilitated by me, Gary T. Taylor, licensed clinical social worker here in the state of Virginia. So happy that you chose to be a part of this webinar in this series. Thank you for the Network of Social Work Management for having me and facilitating this amazing summit in 2021, especially in the midst of COVID and all of this virtual tech space that we have to navigate through to make sure that we get the proper um, message out to those who participating. So I hope that you are having a great time participating in the summit. Hope that you're learning some new things and that you're enjoying the conversations that are being had with the thought leaders, such brilliant minds that are presenting with the summit. Again, we hope that as a result of you participating in these actual sessions, that you will take and implement into your actual practice, whether you're a social work student, whether you're social work, you're a teacher in an department, you're a clinician, or you're supervising social workers. We want to make sure that you're taking those actual nuggets from our sessions and implementing into your daily practice. So, yes, again, thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. Let's get started real quick. And I want to talk about a brief story that's going to lead us into the topic of discussion that we're having today. Um, I was of course, a graduate student at George Mason University. I graduated in 2015, George Mason University in Fairfax, Virginia. And like most social work students, man, we have a long week filled with classes and internship hours. This particular day, I had probably been in class from 9 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock in the evening due to the way I was set up and how I was commuting. Well, I was coming down the road and I was tired. I was ready for the weekend. Classes had just ended. And I was looking to give me some pizza and go watch my favorite football team, the Dallas Cowboys. Please do not laugh. But that is my favorite football team. And I went to go pick up that pizza and I was going to watch the game, unwind, decompress, relax, get myself together for the weekend, right? Classes are over. So as I'm driving and I'm turning to go into Domino's, I do see that there's some blue lights behind me. Now, looking at the state of the country in regards to unarmed black men, women, and children being killed during this time period, and how the country has been in an uproar as a result of this. And this is not the first time this has happened. This is around 2014, 15 era. We're coming off probably the Mike Brown situation, Sandra Bland, Tamir Rice. We're coming off those police killings, and so this was pretty. It was still consistent with what was happening today, mind you. This is not my first time being pulled over by law enforcement. I've been pulled over multiple times. Matter of fact, I've been pulled over with multiple law enforcement at as present. Matter of fact, I've been pulled over with different types of law enforcement that are not in plain clothes. This is the same situation that happened. So as I'm being pulled over, I see one officer pull up to my driver's side, another officer goes around the front of my car, another officer goes to the passenger side of my car. And now they're not in plain clothes. They're in army fatigue shorts, and then they're in actual bulletproof style vest. Was very unique, very peculiar at this current moment because I didn't know what was happening, what's going on. Mind you, I have had this experience before as a teenager where I've gotten pulled over by narcotics, didn't know what I did, and they searched my vehicle, didn't find anything, of course, and then they went on about their way. Well, in this instance, the guys pulled me over. I don't know why they pulled me over. The only thing they mentioned after they let me go was the fact that I had something hanging from my rearview mirror. Now, mind you, while I'm here, I'm tired and I just want to get home, get my pizza and watch the Dallas Cowboys. And I have one officer questioning me where I'm coming from, where I'm going on my driver's side, another officer on my passenger side, speaking through me through the window, asking me questions simultaneously as I go back and forth, one here, back here, and watching the front officer to see why he's looking at my vehicle. I answer the officer on the driver's side, and then I answer the officer on my passenger side because he asked me different questions around if I smoke weed, do I smoke marijuana, and then I can tell him nothing would happen if I do so. assuming that I smoke weed or marijuana due to this my long luxurious locks that I do have. And so, those things were happening. I kept calm. I remained calm in the situation because again, this is not my first time, and my whole goal in this is to make it home safely because my family is relying on me. But I'm not mind. I'm very mindful into as far as what is happening in this current moment. And so either way, that they kept going back and forth until I answered all questions in a proper manner that I didn't seem like I was suspicious, didn't seem like I was doing any making any trouble. It seemed like, and I told him I am a student. I'm in grad school, finishing up my master's, trying to get home to watch the Cowboys eat my pizza. And so after a couple of exchanges back and forth, nothing escalated. They let me go home. I never knew why I got pulled over though. And so I had to go home with the same old thought feeling that, it was one of those things where I'm a black man. I'm driving late at night. At nighttime, I fit the description for something, right? Um, and when I get home, I didn't even take the time to process it. I've been through it before. I didn't want to process or go through it because I felt as though it's just the run of the mill, the same old type of thing. I just wanted to get home to eat my pizza and watch the game. And I keep reiterating that. However, life goes on. So I talked to my family and friends about that and my fiance at the time. And, we shake our heads and we say, that's just what it is. That's the society that we live in as black individuals in this country. This is what we have to deal with on a daily basis, every single day of the week, on top of the other constructs in place that continue to oppress us and marginalize us and provide unneeded and unadded stressors that we don't even need because we already have 1,000 stressors put on us in the first place, right? So I go back to school. I don't talk to anybody about it because I'm one of few black people in the actual class. I go on and conduct business as usual because that's just the way of life for me. And I carry that experience with me because every time I think about it, every time I think about anytime I get pulled over by law enforcement, I automatically think about how I could be a hashtag. It could be me, a hashtag. It could be me that folks are out here protesting for. It could be me that's on the news channels during the mornings that this black man was killed. I automatically and always think about those instances every single time I see another black man, black woman killed in these instances and look at it from a survivor's remorse almost. Wow, it could have been me. My mother and my father, my wife, they see those different things, and every single time they see these killings pop up, they automatically think about me and they start to get worried. There's a fear every single time I step outside that door frame. And likewise for me, for my wife, and for my friends, and for my mother. They step outside that door frame that they could be a hashtag. And but I am supposed to continue to show up and provide for my family, show up and be a professional social worker, show up, go back to class like nothing ever happened, show up, go back to work at these agencies like nothing ever happened without no time to process or heal or be told how I should probably continue to comply. Or it wasn't that big of a deal. They was probably looking for something else. But has been a constant issue for the African American population since slavery. It is manifested in different forms. It has been a constant issue for me in majority of my life driving, whether it's 15, 16-year-old Gary in high school or whether it's 32, 25-year-old Gary, licensed clinical social worker, community advocate, community organizer, law abiding citizen, and it doesn't matter. They only see me for me, my skin, my hair, my height, my stature. That's what they see. And so when you start talking about how do we, how the intersectionality of racial equity and mental health go hand in hand, have you ever stopped to think about the the black individuals that you call colleagues, the ones that you are teaching, the ones that you are supervising or mentoring? Have you ever stopped to think about the so many issues, social issues, racial injustices, social injustices, so many systemic issues that when their feet hit the floor, that they have to scramble through, work through in order to just show up at your office, show up at your institutions, or show up at your agency and be themselves. Have you ever thought about how much energy, how much mental capacity it takes to just stay alive, to never stay in the moment of fight or flight every single day, to calm down our actual fight or flight sensory, our senses inside of our bodies so that we do not explode, do not, how you say, be the angry black man, be the angry black woman on these, in these spaces that are usually, especially the social work field, are predominantly white spaces. We're told to just get over it, move forward. Oh, you're resilient. Oh, you're so strong. And have no time to process and heal. However, in the profession, we tell our clients to take the time to process and heal. And so I'm asking and begging you to, in your practice, in your social work practice, because you got to understand social justice is the thing that is in our code of ethics, that we supposed to stand up against any type of social injustices, against any group or minority group due to race, sex, color, physical disabilities, things of that nature. We are called in our code of ethics to stand up and stand by it. And if you do not stand up and stand by it and call out the racism and discrimination that we continue to have in our country, if you continue to use and operate in a manner that is not providing proper racial equity for your African American colleagues, your African American students, your African American supervisees, then you are doing not just a disservice to the social work profession, but you are doing a disservice to your actual fellow human being that you call a brother, sister, or whoever you want to call them. These are the stories that we carry with us every single day. And it's a constant battle to wake up every single day, fight through them just to show up and make sure we're doing our job to the best of our abilities. And then when we're off, we got to go at it again because we got to make sure we make it home at night. I hope this session has opened your eyes up to the plight of African Americans and what we are facing and what we're dealing with. And I hope that you take from this story, my personal story, and implement it in your daily practice. I thank you for coming to my workshop. I hope that you have a great week and weekend. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Thank you.